Long story short, they came in, had us escorted off the property, was going to take over the business. In 3 days, we had the ability to go back in. We borrowed a bunch of money from Charity's dad to pay a lawyer.
For more than a decade, millions of car lovers around the world watched one man turn old, forgotten vehicles into rolling pieces of art. Every episode of Bitchin Rides was filled with amazing designs, incredible paint jobs, and emotional reveals that left customers speechless. At the center of it all was Dave Kindig, a designer whose passion for classic cars helped build one of the most respected custom shops in America. So when fans suddenly heard that the show was ending after 11 successful seasons, one question quickly spread across the internet. Why would such a popular show come to an end? Many people believed there had to be a hidden reason. Some thought ratings had dropped, while others guessed that Dave was tired of television or that problems inside the shop had forced production to stop. The truth, however, is much different. Behind the bright lights, expensive cars, and happy customers was a story filled with business challenges, legal battles, unexpected corporate decisions, and personal sacrifices that very few viewers ever knew about. The end of the television show was not the end of Dave Kindig's journey. In many ways, it became the beginning of a completely new chapter that gave him more freedom than ever before. Long before television cameras entered his workshop, Dave Kindig was simply a young man with a dream and a deep love for automobiles. He did not become successful overnight, and he did not inherit a famous business. Every custom design, every late night in the garage, and every difficult decision slowly built the reputation that fans know today. Together with his wife, Charity, he started Kindig-It Design with determination and hard work, believing that quality would always speak louder than advertising. Their family sacrificed steady paychecks, comfortable lifestyles, and financial security to chase a vision that many people believed would never succeed. That risk eventually paid off. In 2014, Bitchin Rides premiered on the Velocity Network and quickly became one of the most popular automotive shows on television. Unlike many reality programs filled with fake drama, this series focused on real craftsmanship. Viewers watched metal being shaped by hand, engines rebuilt from scratch, and classic cars transformed into award-winning masterpieces. Dave's calm personality, Kevin Sheeler's humor, and the family atmosphere inside the shop created a show that felt authentic. Fans were not only interested in the cars, they connected with the people building them. Every episode celebrated creativity, teamwork, and the satisfaction of bringing impossible projects back to life, making the series a favorite for automotive enthusiasts across the world. As the years passed, the audience continued to grow. The show expanded internationally and aired under different names in several countries, introducing millions of viewers to Kindig-It Design. The shop became famous for taking on projects that many experts considered impossible. From classic Corvettes and vintage Fords to one-of-a-kind custom creations like the CF1, every build reflected Dave's commitment to perfection. Customers often waited years for their vehicles because the team refused to rush the process. Quality always came first, even if it meant spending thousands of extra hours perfecting every detail. That dedication earned respect throughout the automotive industry and turned the shop into a destination for collectors willing to invest in world-class craftsmanship. Because of that success, the announcement that Bitchin Rides would end after its 11th season shocked fans everywhere. The timing made the decision even more surprising because the show was still performing well and producing some of its most impressive projects. Award-winning builds were leaving the shop, viewers remained loyal, and Dave still seemed passionate about his work. Everything appeared to be moving in the right direction. So why would anyone choose to walk away from a successful television series? The answer was not hidden inside the garage but inside the boardrooms of major entertainment companies, where business strategies often matter more than loyal audiences. What happened next would change the future of the show forever, while opening unexpected opportunities for Dave Kindig and his entire team. The real reason behind the end of Bitchin Rides was far less dramatic than many people expected, but it had a huge impact on the future of the series. In 2022, Warner Media merged with Discovery to form Warner Bros. Discovery, creating one of the largest entertainment companies in the world. Whenever companies of that size combine, they begin reviewing budgets, streaming services, and television programming to decide where money should be spent. Unfortunately, many successful shows become part of those business decisions. MotorTrend Plus, the streaming platform that carried automotive content, was eventually shut down and its programs were moved to larger platforms like Discovery and Maximum. During this restructuring, several automotive shows faced uncertain futures, including Bitchin Rides. It was not a question of poor ratings or unhappy viewers. Instead, It was the result of changing corporate priorities that had very little to do with the people creating the show. Dave Kindig later made it clear that the decision came from a network side, not because he wanted to stop building cars or because the shop was struggling. Even though the television cameras were preparing to leave, Dave had already started thinking about what came next. For years, filming schedules had controlled much of the shop's daily routine. Every project had to fit production deadlines, interviews had to be recorded, and builds often needed to be organized around television episodes rather than the natural pace of craftsmanship. Dave has always believed that a truly great custom car cannot be rushed, and when the show ended, he suddenly gained something more valuable than television exposure time. Instead of working around filming crews, his team could focus completely on designing, fabricating, painting, and solving engineering problems without constant interruptions. What looked like a loss to many fans actually became a new opportunity for the business. Rather than slowing down, Kindig-It Design continued producing extraordinary custom vehicles while enjoying greater creative freedom than ever before. But this was not the first time Dave Kindig had faced the possibility of losing everything. Long before television success, his business survived one of the most frightening moments in its history. During a podcast interview, Dave shared a story that many fans had never heard before. A wealthy husband and wife approached him with an offer to invest in his growing company. At the time, Dave and Charity were talented builders but had very little business experience. They believed that outside investment would help the company expand faster and allow them to buy better equipment. The investors contributed money and even became involved in the company's financial records. Everything appeared to be working smoothly until one ordinary day when the situation suddenly changed. Dave and his employees were reportedly escorted off their own property while the investors attempted to take control of the business and reshape it into a different type of restoration shop. For Dave and Charity, it felt like years of hard work had disappeared in a single afternoon. The experience was heartbreaking. Dave later explained that he and Charity feared they would lose everything they had spent years building. Their dreams, their reputation, and the future of their family business all seemed to be slipping away. Instead of giving up, they decided to fight. They borrowed money from Charity's father to hire an attorney and challenge the situation in court. Within only a few days, they regained control of their company, and the investment agreement was eventually transformed into a simple loan arrangement. Looking back, Dave admits that the experience taught him lessons that no business school could have provided. He learned the importance of carefully written contracts, protecting company finances, and never assuming that every business opportunity is built on trust alone. Those painful days shaped the way he managed Kindig-It Design for the rest of his career and helped create the stable family business that fans see today. Like many successful companies, Kindig-It Design also faced legal disputes and unexpected challenges over the years. Some disagreements involved design rights, while others came from customers frustrated by delays on highly customized projects. Building one-of-a-kind vehicles is very different from producing cars on an assembly line. Every project requires thousands of decisions, handcrafted parts, and countless hours of problem-solving. Delays are common because unexpected issues often appear once an old vehicle is taken apart. Then the COVID-19 pandemic created even more difficulties, affecting supply chains, customer budgets, and delivery schedules across the automotive industry. Despite these obstacles, the shop continued moving forward, expanded its facilities, and maintained the quality that had earned worldwide respect. Each challenge became another reminder that success is rarely a straight path. Behind every beautiful custom car is a story of setbacks, determination, and countless hours of hard work that viewers rarely see on television. When the final episode of Bitchin Rides aired, many fans wondered what would happen to the talented people who had become familiar faces over the years. Some expected the shop to slow down, while others believed Dave Kindig might finally retire after spending decades building custom cars. Instead, the exact opposite happened. Without the pressure of a television production schedule, the team was able to focus entirely on creating some of its most ambitious projects. The famous CF1 sports car continued to evolve with new designs and improvements, while classic muscle cars, vintage trucks, and rare collector vehicles kept rolling into the shop. Industry events like SEMA remained an important stage for Kindig-It Design, where every new build attracted huge crowds and generated excitement among automotive enthusiasts. The company had spent years building a reputation for excellence, and that reputation did not disappear simply because television cameras stopped recording. Customers continued placing orders, collectors continued trusting Dave's vision, and the workshop stayed as busy as ever. In many ways, The end of the television series allowed the team to return to what they loved most, building incredible cars without worrying about episode deadlines or network expectations. Dave also understood that the relationship with his fans did not have to end with the television show. Over the years, social media and online video platforms changed the way audiences consumed content, giving creators the chance to connect directly with viewers. Rather than depending on a television network, Dave and his team launched Kindig All Access on YouTube, offering fans a closer look at what really happens inside the shop. The difference was immediately noticeable. Instead of highly edited television episodes designed to fit a fixed time slot, viewers could now watch longer videos that explored every stage of a build. Design meetings, metal fabrication, bodywork, paint preparation, wiring, engine testing, and final assembly all became part of the experience. Fans who had always wanted to understand how these amazing vehicles came together finally received the behind-the-scenes access they had been requesting for years. The relaxed format also allowed Kevin Sheila and the rest of the team to show more of their personalities, making the content feel even more genuine and personal than traditional television. Many longtime viewers commented that the YouTube channel felt like visiting the shop itself rather than simply watching another reality program. Behind every successful project stands a strong support system, and for Dave Kindig, that support has always come from his family. His wife, Charity Kindig, has been much more than a business partner. From the earliest days of Kindig-It Design, she handled finances, marketing, customer communication, and countless responsibilities that allowed Dave to focus on design and creativity. Their partnership became the foundation of the entire company, proving that success often depends on teamwork rather than individual talent. Their children also became involved in the business, turning Kindig-It Design into a true family operation where experience, trust, and shared goals helped create a positive workplace culture. Fans who watched the television series often noticed the respect and friendship between the employees, but many did not realize that those relationships had been built over decades of working through challenges together. While expensive custom cars attract attention, it is the people behind the scenes who make the business successful. Dave has often said that building cars is important, but building lasting relationships is even more valuable, and the continued success of the company reflects that philosophy every day. Another side of Dave Kindig's story receives far less attention than his award-winning vehicles. Throughout the years, he and his family have quietly supported charitable causes, community programs, and organizations that help children and families facing difficult situations. Whether through fundraising events, signed memorabilia, partnerships with hospitals, or automotive exhibitions that raise money for important causes, the Kindig family has consistently used its success to give back. They have also supported young people interested in learning skilled trades, encouraging the next generation of fabricators, painters, and designers to follow their passions. This commitment to community reflects the values that helped build the business in the first place. Dave often reminds people that beautiful cars can bring happiness, but helping someone in need creates an impact that lasts much longer. That attitude has earned him respect not only as a designer but also as a business owner who understands the importance of supporting the people around him. Today, Dave Kindig stands as proof that success is not measured only by television ratings or awards displayed on a shelf. The end of Bitchin Rides could have marked the end of an incredible career, but instead it became the beginning of a new journey built on independence, creativity, and direct connections with fans. His shop continues producing world-class custom vehicles, new online content reaches audiences around the globe, and the same dedicated team keeps pushing the limits of automotive design. Looking back, the real reason Bitchin Rides ended was not failure, scandal, or declining popularity. It was simply the result of major corporate changes that reshaped the entertainment industry. Rather than allowing those decisions to define his future, Dave chose to adapt and move forward. His story is ultimately about resilience, family, craftsmanship, and the courage to embrace change. The television cameras may have stopped rolling, but inside Kindig-It Design, the sparks still fly, the engines still roar to life, and every new project proves that true passion never goes out of style. The ride did not end, it simply found a new road, and for Dave Kindig, that road may be even more exciting than the one that made him famous. There is also an important lesson hidden inside Dave Kindig's journey that goes far beyond custom cars and television shows. In today's world, many people measure success by social media followers, television ratings, or public attention. Dave's story shows that real success is built on something much stronger: consistency, patience, and never lowering your standards. Every award-winning vehicle that leaves Kindig-It Design represents thousands of hours of planning, problem-solving, and teamwork. The audience usually sees the finished masterpiece, but they rarely see the late nights, the unexpected setbacks, or the countless small decisions that make perfection possible. That mindset helped Dave survive financial struggles, business disputes, changing television networks, and an industry that never stops evolving. Instead of chasing fame, he focused on building the best cars he could, and fame naturally followed. Even after the cameras stopped rolling, the passion inside the workshop remained exactly the same. Fans continue visiting the shop, watching new builds online, and supporting the team because they trust the quality and honesty that Dave and his family have shown for decades. In the end, the real story is not about why Bitchin Rides ended. It is about how one designer refused to let outside decisions control his future. By embracing YouTube, staying connected with his audience, and continuing to create some of the most impressive custom vehicles in the world, Dave Kindig proved that true craftsmanship never depends on a television contract. As long as there are classic cars waiting for a second life and passionate builders willing to transform them into works of art, the spirit of Kindig-It Design will continue to grow. The show may belong to television history, but the legacy of Dave Kindig is still being written, one handcrafted masterpiece at a time, inspiring future builders and reminding fans everywhere that passion, family, and hard work will always outlast the spotlight. If you enjoy the video, please like, comment, and subscribe the channel for more content. Thank you.